Gather around, PureSkill family. This your boy Sharif, and I'm back at it with another video. All right, let's get into it. So, production vlog 5. What I did today, we got started on our rig, and essentially, now again, these are not tutorials. If you guys have any questions or have anything you want me to go in depth about, put it in the comments so I can make an actual tutorial about it. All right, okay. So, this is not a rigging tutorial, so I'm not going to go fully in depth, but I will give you guys some rigging tips if you guys stay all the way to the end. All right, so essentially what we did today was we went in and we made the we did the hardest part of rigging a character, I should say. We got that part done. Like the rig is not completely finished, and there's always like more you can add, especially if you think of some more stuff. But we did the hardest part. So, well, to me, what the hardest part is. All we did so far was add our deform bones. We added our deform bones, and we added our deform bones, and we added our tweaker bones. So, how should I describe this? Essentially, there's ranks of the bones hierarchy, or I don't even know if I'm using that right. But how should I say? So, okay, you know what? Watch the time lapse, and then I'll get back to you guys at the end of the video. All right, guys. Okay, shoot. This is how I'm gonna explain it. So if you watch the time lapse, you kind of see what I went through, and since you guys stayed to the end of the video, I'm gonna tell you guys some tips on rigging, and most of the tips I have to tell you are: one, make sure you name correctly. Make sure your naming is a lot, because you're gonna have hundreds of bones right off the bat. You're gonna be duplicating bones, so you're gonna have duplicating and subdividing bones, so you'll have a lot. um Make sure your name is correct. I think in this one my naming got a little bit off a little bit, but it's fine. It was good enough so that I can keep working, right? Okay. So then two, to me, the key to rigging is using the constraints section, which you can see right here. Using the constraints section of the bones to get the orientation of bones that you want. It's a combination of constraints and parenting. You got to get creative with it. I know rigging seems like a very technical thing, but you have to use your creative mind to say, okay, I can duplicate this bone and parent it this way so that this bone, because if you parent the wrong way or you use the wrong constraints with a improper parent or something like that, what's gonna happen is your rig's gonna go haywire, and you probably see it happen a few times in my rig when you guys are watching the time lapse. So it's gonna break and deform, and you just have to undo, press Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, and then redo it. Get creative on how you can get what you want. The idea is that the last bone that's deforming the bones, and I'll explain the hierarchy right now. The last bone that's deforming the bone has the right pivot point and moves in the way that you want it to, from the way the control. Now, there's hierarchies. So what it is there's the deformed bones, which these are the only bones that actually move the mesh. So the mesh is our Dontae character that we made in vlog. Shoot, which vlog was that? 2 or 3? Yes, 2. What's it called? That no 3, whichever one it was. That's our Dontae character. Our mesh is our Dontae character. So the deformed bones are the only bones that actually move him, right? You have your target bones. Target bones are because you don't want to work on your deformed bones. Target bones are basically just the actual duplicate, the direct duplicate. You don't do nothing to them, just duplicate the deformed bones. What you do to the target bones is actually put all the mechanism bones. Mechanism bones is all the bones that's working in the background. You're not gonna see them. They're just doing things in the background based off the constraints and the parenting hierarchies that I told you to get creative with and make sure you use to get the bones to do what you want them to do, right? And this is just a rough overview on rigging, because rigging is very deep. So if you want, again, if you guys want a tutorial, just put in the comments you want a tutorial, right? Okay. So um you get the mechanism bones to do to the target bones what you want them to do. The deformed bones are going to be copying whatever the target bones do, because you duplicated them and you made the deformed bones copy their transforms, right? With a constraint. So then the control bones is the one bones that your animator is going to use. So if you're only rigging and you're not animating, even though if you're by yourself, then you're going to rig and animate. But if you're a rigger, let's say you're not animating, your animator is only going to touch the control bones. They're not going to touch the deformed bones. They're not going to touch the target bones. They're not going to touch the mechanism bones. So what's going to happen is they're only going to touch the control bones. The control bones, this is why you got to get creative with your mechanism bones, using your parents and your constraints. When you move your control bones the way you want to move them, if however it is that you want to move them, they need to affect the mechanism bones and make the target bones do what you want them to do. Again, target bones are just going to make the deformed bones move exactly the same way. That way I can move this bone up, this control bone up as an animator, and mechanism bone's gonna do whatever they do, and my arm is gonna move like this, and then ta-da, you just rigged. You understand what I'm saying? So that's kind of rough overview. I kind of just explained like what deformed bones, target bones, mechanism bones, and control bones are. The most important ones are the control and mechanism bones. I feel control bones because those are the bones you're actually touching. Mechanism bones because you have to really get creative with those. You have to really be like, okay, what do I want my target bones to do? What do I want? How do I want them to move? Where do I want them to pivot from? All of those good things. So you have to get creative with that. You understand what I'm saying? So again, if you want a deeper tutorial, then go ahead. But today what we did was tweak bones. Tweak bones are essentially just stretchy bones. Once you move, let's say I animated and I make my rig make an arm go like this and like this. Tweak bones just give your bones stretchiness so that you can stretch them out, and that's a really tedious task, and it's a lot of doing the same thing again and again and again and again. So I wanted to get that out the way first, and also you kind of have to get that out the way first because they're the smallest bones, and all the bigger bones are gonna be controlling those bones, because you have to imagine there's 1,000,000,001 tweaker bones right here, and this big bone has to move all of them where they want it to go, so that you can tweak it one by one. You understand what I'm saying? So the bigger bones are going to be easier to make in the next vlog, so go ahead and check that out.